This game is absolutely taking the gaming community by storm, earning a rank of the 33rd most wishlisted game on Steam at the time of this recording. This indie game developer by the name of 2Star has created Choo Choo Charles, an open world horror game, and it looks awesome. With impressive environments and an interesting story, the basic rundown of this game is that you, the player, are stuck in an island with a cult worshipping this spider train thing. You're trying to run from it and survive in any way you can, and I mean, it's horrifying. Like, the creature design for this spider thing is just terrifying. I mean, take a look. Oh, my bad, wrong one. This is the design. It's absolutely horrifying. And just looking at it, the environment it's in, it's even creepier.
Michael, don't leave me here. Michael.
So, 2Star actually made his own videos explaining his process on the creation of this game.
I'm making a horror game where you fight a spider.
And it's pretty interesting, and it gives a good perspective on how the game will work and how he made it. So, after you're done watching this video, go check them out for yourself. Anyway, his channel is where we're going to get most of our information about this game. Starting with Charles, the main villain in the game, and it's a train with spider legs. This wacky concept is what drew the attention of millions of people, so let's talk about that. You probably think it took him forever to think of this concept. Well, it was actually just something he thought of on the spot.
A couple months ago, I was thinking, hey, I need to make a new game. What should I make? And then I was kind of like, spider train? Spider train. That's a great idea, I thought to myself.
But besides that, in the story of the game, we can assume that Charles is like a demon or an eldritch god of sorts. This is a pretty safe assumption considering that there is a cult that worships him, as well as something we haven't gotten to yet. Other than that, most of the evidence points to Charles being a demonic version of Thomas the Train. How he got to the island and why he has such a thirst for blood is still up to speculation. The story for this game seems really simple. Build a train, get weapons, and kill Charles. The part I didn't get to earlier was that there are 3 main tasks in the game, and it's to collect 3 gems that are meant to perform a ritual that alerts Charles and activates the final boss battle. Although there's so much more to the story that isn't as obvious, like how the residents of the island are still alive and how they defend against Charles, or why the cult worships him, and just because that stuff isn't given, it still seems like the story offers enough already. But for now, these are just some examples of parts of the story we don't know until we can get our hands on it.
Where'd you get that? Oh!
In addition to this story, a lot can be theorized by just looking at the environment in which the game takes place. From what we've seen, it takes place on an isolated island that has a few residents, with some of them being members of a malicious cult. The residents of this island live in run-down looking shacks and houses, afraid of the evil train that hunts them down.
What are you doing in my house? What are you doing in my house?
I want waffle fries.
The main character, or you, actually interacts with a train that goes around a pre-built line of tracks that slices through the island. Because we see that this train tracks are present, but they don't seem to be kept up, we can assume that this world is kind of run down or post-apocalyptic, possibly having been ravaged by creatures like Charles. Well, maybe not all of it. This is because all that we've been given so far is just some views about the island. We've only seen what's on the island. So it's actually safer to assume that the only place that's being ransacked by demon-like creatures is the island. Fighting Charles is probably the biggest point of this game, and how you do it is awesome. Throughout the game, you're able to find new weapons, some being hidden while others are basically given. These weapons attach to your train pointing backwards, and if you couldn't guess just from this, you fight Charles while speeding down the train tracks. Throughout the fight, you can switch your guns when they overheat. The variety of your weapons spans from a classic machine gun to a 50 cal dual barrel and even a grenade launcher. But Charles is able to fight back, so another task you complete as the player is upgrading your train, from its durability to its speed. But to do this, you need to have a sufficient amount of scraps. These scraps can be found throughout the map and by completing quests given by NPCs. So to recap everything that happened in this video, basically Choo Choo Charles is just a game that has a very interesting story that is soon to be told. It has some spectacular world building and fun mechanics, making this game a must-buy on my wish list, as it should be on yours. It's being released on December 9th of this year, so make sure to buy it as soon as possible for the best experience. And hopefully, you guys have a good day.